So when did you decide to become Indiana Jones? Bitch, please, you ain't even as good as the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Uncharted was directed by Ruben Fleischer, who did Zombieland, Gangster Squad, 30 Minutes or Less, Zombieland Double Tap, and Venom. Boy, Eminem really had a catchy song for that terrific comic book movie that was by no means perfect, but was a whole lot of fun. This was written by Rafka Jadkins, who did some episodes of Wheel of Time, as well as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and written by Art Markham, as well as Matt Holloway, who have credits such as the first Iron Man, which was a lot of fun, Punisher Warzone, which was true to the material, but was still not all that fun, as well as Men in Black International. That wasn't so good. So this is a big screen adaptation of a long-running video game series that's titled, wait for it, Uncharted, insert, title here, insert subtitle here, Uncharted, The Pearls of Wisdom, whatever. No, I know that no game was called that, but it's a long-running series. It's pretty goddamn popular, full of quick-time events, cinematic stuff, and adventuring. It's adventure time, Indiana Jones style, exploration style, and Tom Holland plays Nathan Drake, who's the titular character. Once again, I react to words like titular with the good taste and maturity everybody has come to expect from this channel, and there's no way that if you are anything other than a brand new viewer, if so high, that you would expect any maturity from me. Mark Wahlberg's also in this as Victor Sullivan, or Sully as it were. And there's a character named Santiago, played by Antonio Banderas, who is really sleepwalking through it. And there's a girl named Chloe Fraser, played by the gorgeous Sophia Ali. My fucking goodness, she is stunning. And there's also Braddock, who's a badass that doesn't take any guff from anybody. She will kill you at the drop of a hat, so don't drop your hat around her. What the fuck are you doing? Oh god, you dropped the hat rack. And now Braddock must kill again. So full disclosure, I've never been the biggest fan of the Uncharted video game series. When I saw they were doing a big screen adaptation, I'm like, okay, the Sonic the Hedgehog movies proved that you could do a video game adaptation right, which is not what I would have said about the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie until I watched it and enjoyed it. And Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Electric Blue Badass Boogaloo, was actually a whole lot of fun and way better than the first one. So this wasn't guaranteed to be a complete bust. And also this is just taking heaps and heaps and carving pieces off of various other adventure movies like the Indiana Jones franchise. And this took more inspiration from Indiana Jones 4, where everybody got on the floor and saw that Harrison Ford was older than the dinosaurs, and they really shouldn't have done that, but I hated Indiana Jones 4. And I'm not going to lie, I pretty much hated this movie. And I didn't think that I was going to love it, but I was like, okay, I have no attachment to the video games outside of playing, the first two a little bit. And the plane scene and all that stuff, and a bit of fan servicey stuff happens. But if you're a big fan of the video game, maybe your mileage may vary. You may enjoy this, you may just go in for something breezy and ridiculous. But unlike movies like, say, The Lost City, that was a whole lot of fun, that had no right to be as funny as it was, this felt uninspired, lazy, and was just there to be a cash grab. They spent $120 million on this, and I don't know if that includes a marketing campaign, because there was a heavy marketing campaign for this. It made $146 million in the U.S., $395 million worldwide. Maybe they'll make a sequel. They pretty much hinted at a goddamn sequel. Don't worry, spoilers will come up as far as how they hinted at it. But since I'm not a big fan of the video games, I see no reason to get so much attachment. Like, oh my god, they didn't get this right, they didn't get this right, they didn't get this quick time event that you did where you got to hit the icon really good. Oh my god, and Nathan Drake's dead. I don't have no attachment like that, so I'm judging it as a movie. It's uninspired, it's lazy, it's not very good. Also, a lot of cliches. Like, oh, I didn't expect this person to betray me, even though it was painfully obvious to anybody. Anybody that has basically been around human beings for about 5 minutes could figure out what the fuck's going on and who's going to betray who. And also, it's a movie of convenience and just action pieces that really don't have a lot of cohesive narrative to them. This isn't as bad as the 355, which is an absolute abomination, a complete desecration of filmmaking. This is just lazy and not very good, and they just poured a lot of money and just kept throwing money at it. They put Tom Holland in there, hoping that would work. Mark Wahlberg, they hoped that maybe they would get good Mark Wahlberg, and not. Well, Mark Wahlberg about 50% of the time that he's in movies. We didn't get the Shooter Mark Wahlberg, because Shooter was quite good. We got somewhere between the happening Mark Wahlberg and, let's see, Four Brothers Mark Wahlberg? No, Four Brothers is actually pretty good. Let's just go with that. Let's just say Mark Wahlberg has a dodgy track record. Antonio Banderas, by the way, just again sleepwalking through this whole thing. So it's exploration and treasure hunting and all that, and they're trying to find treasure. Nathan and Sully are a 500-year-old treasure that's buried somewhere at the bottom of the sea, not with SpongeBob SquarePants. No, it's just buried somewhere or buried in some area. It's a lot of gold. There's gold, and then there are lost areas. Somewhere on the map, somewhere on the world map. Well, that narrows it down. We only need to explore the entire fucking world. But there's a map, and there's crosses, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff, and people trying to get this and double-crossing each other, and my God, it's stupid. I felt like I should have been controlling it with a video game controller, as opposed to controlling it with something like maybe the remote to hit the mute button, because the dialogue was absolutely cliche and boring. And why do they need 3 fucking people to write this thing? Why did you need 3 people to write this? Did everybody just take a fucking break with everybody just on piles of cocaine, or is everybody on piles of downers, and they just decide to do, oh, I don't know, there's the laziest writing possible. Oh, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that cliche. Oh, we'll give Nathan Drake the backstory. Look, they obviously put a bit of thought into trying to tell the story of Nathan Drake, and then they just gave up on that and just said, fuck it, we'll just tell it through some flashbacks, and we'll tell it through some postcards, which is actually something close to the video game, as I recall. But as far as like anything, cohesive, if you don't follow the video games and you try to follow, a 2-hour movie where there's a lengthy narration or narrative in the video games, I think video games top out between 40 and 50 hours of gameplay, depending on what you explore and depending on what you do and depending on how good you are at video games. Again, your mileage may vary. So Antonio Banderas plays a really, really rich guy. But then naturally, he wants the treasure. Sully wants the treasure, recruits Nathan Drake, who's working at a bar and juggling some stuff and everything and doing all this and everything. And Tom Holland is serving you a good stiff drink. Really, shouldn't have paused right there, but now everybody can think about Tom Holland being stiff. You can say whatever you want. I don't care. So basically, after a flashback where it indicates it's Sam, Nathan's brother, who made the pants too long, by the way. Nobody gets that reference. I don't know why I keep doing that. Whenever somebody's named Sam, he disappears, and he sort of keeps in contact with him, but then he sort of doesn't. There are these postcards he keeps writing messages on and hidden messages in, because somehow he's able to access all this stuff and tell him, yeah, this is where it goes. This is where this stuff is. This is what this person's going to do. You do that. I'll stay away until the sequel, the eventual sequel that may happen, may not happen. This movie didn't do all that well, so it might go the way of the Lone Ranger or John Carter, even though it wasn't that big of a flop. But everybody just does betrayals of convenience. Like, oh, you betrayed me, but oh, that's okay. We have this other big betrayal. And then that big betrayal gets done by a bigger betrayal. And then we need just... It's just so mind-numbingly lacking in nuance and anything good. It's boring. It's really, really boring. The action scenes are boring. Yes, they do the plane scene thing where the freight's hanging out because they're all about that freight tumbling to the ocean and they're gonna drown. Oh, shit. Wow, that was a really bad rendition of that Meghan Trainor song. They did that, but you're just expecting to hit the prompt and everything, and oh, everybody will be saved. That was kind of cool, but it was better in the video game. They were naturally going to have to do that, but it is what it is. It's not good. It's like if Red Notice, I enjoyed. If you took Red Notice and The Lost City and you put them together, and then you took all the funny material out of The Lost City and replaced Dwayne Johnson with an idiot, then you would have something close to Uncharted. It didn't work. There was an adorable cat in there, I will say that, but that was kind of cool. But yeah, I'm glad I waited to watch this on Amazon. It's only $6 on Amazon, so I certainly didn't waste my money. I've certainly spent more money on worse movies. You should have left. Why did I pay $20 to review that? I have no idea. Oh, right, I was burning through money because I don't care. This is one that you could obviously rent now, and again, you may enjoy it, but it's just uninspired, lazy, and the sequel hooks just weren't that good. They just weren't. It just wasn't that. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. Let's just get into spoilers. Watch on Amazon if you want. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Spoilers. Okay, so Antonio Banderas has, he kills his father because his father won't let him do all this exploration stuff. He hired the big badass Braddock, or tough badass, and also Chloe at the same time. And then it turned out he was going to use Braddock to be a means to an end. And then she ends up killing him on a plane after Chloe had betrayed Nathan and Sully when they were on an adventure for a bit. Papa John's, actually, I understand, called this movie and asked them to turn off the sign because they must have paid, while they paid handsomely for that advertisement, it just wasn't very good. There's a whole bunch of destruction, fighting and everything is very lazy, uninspired. And again, Sophia Ali, my fucking goodness, she's gorgeous. It just, even Tom Holland seemed like he was kind of sleepwalking through it. And he's not like the best actor, but he's been pretty good in some stuff. And it was what it was. He finds out that there's a place where the treasure, these crosses meet on this map because you got to figure out all the stuff. You got to cross-check the map. Okay, missed opportunity there. And he even said to Chloe at one point, when did you decide to become Indiana Jones? And then she betrays him and does all this stuff. And everybody ends up on the plane. And we get that freight part that's just absolutely ridiculous. We get it played out, but there's this car part. Well, why in the world is there a car there? Well, because it was in a video game. And also because Chloe was on the plane and somehow had the bright idea, after seeing Braddock kill Antonio Banderas' character Santiago, decide to hide on a plane thousands of feet in the air. What was the end game if you decided to get, or if you somehow got caught? Why are characters so stupid? I mean, not that she could have gotten a parachute and not jumped out and not been noticed, but okay, I mean, yeah, it's a small freighter plane. Sure, there's a few places to hide, but whatever. There's somewhere in the Banda Sea, not on a pineapple under the sea. SpongeBob, okay, I already said that one. Sully disappears for a while, completely disappears. He ends up, Nathan ends up finding the directions for this particular, to get to this map. She betrays him, but he hides the real directions in a bottle because he knew that this incredibly beautiful woman, my God, I again, cannot stop gushing about her. That sounds like a medical condition I should get checked out. She goes in a boat and goes somewhere else. Well, while that's going on, Nathan goes and finds these ships, these broken down ships from Magellan, because he had all the treasure and everything. Oh my God, it's the Magellan, ships. There's all this treasure here and all these wrecked ships, and even though they've been somewhat preserved and they're rotting, you could get billions of dollars out of this and preserve them somewhere. But no, they decided to just wreck the goddamn shit because Sully sees, well, wait a second, there's no gold. There's just this. Oh, it was an old pirate trick. There's spices on top of the barrel. There's gold in these barrels. And then Donkey Kong comes down. I'm Lur from the planet Omicron 64. Persei 64. God damn it. Whatever. Fuck. Ruin that Futurama reference. Let's move on. So, invaders possibly from space. That would have actually been funnier. So, they decided to get a helicopter, or Braddock taking over Santiago's crew, and decides to get 2 helicopters and carry the ships away. Okay, with the gold in them. That's not the worst idea. It's also a very offensive and unfathomably hard to understand Scottish stereotype, which I guess was the idea. So then Sully is helping Nathan Drake and somehow manages to get up to the helicopter and take it over, throws the guys out, and decides to pilot one of these things because he knows how to fly one of these things. And then they battle with these battleships, literal battleships. It's like they're just doing this, they're doing the clanking together. Clank, clank, clank went the trolley. Ring, ring, ring went my interest. And then he tries to get away with a ship and get through these cliffs, not realizing that Braddock, the ship she has, could just go around. I don't think people really ever use their intelligence in the games or otherwise, but definitely not in this movie. So, Braddock is fine. This beautiful badass. She's also beautiful. It looks like she could lift the goddamn world, too. But she is ready to just, destroy. There's a shootout on the ship, because why the fuck wouldn't there be? And there's a bag of gold and it's hanging, and the little apparatus is about to break, because Braddock put the anchor down, and oh no, this is going to have to happen. Nathan is going to die. Nathan Drake is going to die. Also, the voice actor at one point showed up in the movie and ended up saying, "Oh, you flew out of it. It's like you crashed out of a helicopter and got hit by a car. Something like that happened to me." That guy has an incredible IMDb lineup. Look at his lineup. It's amazing. I think he's like some beachgoer. I think that's why he's listed on the credits. But does Sully save the gold or save Nathan? He throws the gold at Braddock, who instantly falls down. Because let me tell you right now, whenever you hurl a sack at a woman, she's going to go down. Don't ask me how I know that, and don't assault people. Don't do that. Stop it. Get some help. And he saves him. And then it turns out that Nathan had a whole bunch of gold. There's gold in them there pockets. And Chloe's in a boat, and she's pissed. But she's beautiful, so she doesn't need to be that pissed. And then we get a somewhat post-credit scene in a prison. My God, Sam is still alive. Not only did he keep making the pants too long, but he survived, and his hair is really long. And then there's a guy with an eye patch in another post-credit thing that I assume is tied into the second game. I have no real idea. And the cat was there to offer a little bit of adorableness. Yeah. The movie wasn't good. The movie wasn't good at all. I, honest to God, kind of started to hate it because I know it's supposed to be breezy and just fun, but it wasn't fun. It felt generic and plain and boring and whatever. I'm bored. F. I'm giving it an F. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that. But whatever. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.